So we have one more question that we're going to take, and then we're going to have an opportunity, because we have a reception afterwards, for you to speak one-on-one with the panelists. Please.
Good evening. I'm Lois Harrison Jones-Fears, and I'd like to certainly commend the panelists for such an insightful presentation. We've learned a lot about their individual successes, but I would like to reflect upon what Mr. Williams started off with when he mentioned doing well and doing good. And I'd like to know, at what point in your quest for accomplishing your personal goals are you able to maintain a focus on attempting to do something good for the community? We're looking at the D2C tour, dedication to community. Where do you transfer this fervor, this passion, to beyond self goal to the good of the wider community? Is there a point along the way? Do you do it simultaneously? But at what point? I think since we have so many young people in the room, I think it's going to be extremely important that they recognize that at some point along the way, we have a responsibility for transferring our personal successes to the success of the wider community. So any or all of you may respond.
That's an excellent question. I'm going to just, if
Go down the row.
each one of the panelists, if you could each tell us, give us 2 minutes, what your thoughts. These are great panelists for that question. Very good question. We'll start with Ted, and then we'll work our way down to Ed.
I think it was a proverb that I used to complain I had no shoes until I met a man that had no. Till I met a man that had no feet. There's always someone worse off than you. I don't care how bad your situation is. So it's not, okay, when I get to this level of success, then I'm going to start giving back. You start giving back from day one. You guys are college students. There's a lot of kids that would love to go to college that you can inspire now. So I don't think there was ever a starting point. I think from day one, it's just a part of my nature.
Having grown up as a Coldwater Flat kid, my dad died when I was 2. Seeing my mom, and we were poor, seeing my mom go into a pocketbook that seemed to have no bottom and quietly on the sidelines without anybody noticing, handing $1 or a few dollars or spending time to help somebody in some issue, that was the essence of anybody can do it. And this young gentleman over here, as he was sharing, and he used a word where they became friends. There's an intimacy in an effort. Now, he's there because he needs to make money, but I'll bet that he's done a few extra favors beyond what was supposed to be, and eventually watched to see that some people may have taken advantage. I believe that there is a line if you're in the business world, and so it seems to be an obvious one. First thing is make certain you can feed your family. And then, oh, by the way, you can do things after that. But you can actually do things in parallel. You can turn around, whether it's at a church or wherever it may be, you can turn around to somebody in the street that is going through some form of an embarrassment and just talk to them. Give a kind word. You're a foundation even with that. So you can do it all in parallel while you're looking to be, I'll use the Gandhi, as you're looking to be the change you want to see in the world, as you're getting ready for all of that with an ability to have it more empowered, you can do it just with your heart. And then you can do the rest of the way with being empowered with more things.
Yuan?
Regardless of your level of success, recognize you do not achieve your success alone. It is because of other people. Someone has helped you along the way to achieve what you've accomplished. With that said, as you recognize, I deal with people with high income status, and Ted is one that advises many of the people that I work with. I advise them to get their own board of directors or board of advisors that represent different facets of life. They don't have to be the best of the best, but they have expertise in certain areas and someone that you respect them and or respect their opinions. With that said, that is something that has helped propel me to success and helped me be motivated to give back. because I look at the people in the village in which I grew up, and there were so many people who were the wind beneath my wings that I felt I could not fail. They helped infuse confidence, respect in myself when I didn't even know who I was. And one of those people is here tonight, Dr. Lois Harrison Jones Fears, the woman who asked the question. And she and her husband, Dr. Anthony Fears, right beside her, have come to support me being here tonight because my mother could not come here tonight. So from, oh, there she is. Oh, I guess she did come. Stand up, Mom. Stand up. But this is what it takes to be successful when you have people who do that. My mom came from Richmond. I didn't even know she was here or coming. But this is what helps propel success, and this is what causes me to give back, because that was modeled for me in my mother, her friend with her that brought her tonight, Aunt Lois, who's what I called her growing up, a family friend, but one of my aunts, as well as her husband. So I think these are things that are part of us that we may not stop to take time to look at, but you really must, because they do make a meaningful difference.
Yeah. I really love that question, because this whole thing of where on the continuum do we start to do that, and I think anywhere on the continuum is the time to start. When I was younger in my career, one of the things about this that I had a misconception about was that it needed to be Gandhi-esque, whatever I was going to do. It needed to be, like change the world, like, whatever. And I overthought it. It was as simple as volunteering to be a tutor at Spingarn High School in D.C., when I was a reporter. It was that simple. It was as simple as volunteering to be the youth soccer coach when my kids signed up, and so that the other kids would have a team, because if somebody didn't do it, there wouldn't be a team. So it does. The danger is we can romanticize the idea of giving back to the point that it becomes something that we feel that only special people get to do. My experience has been that it don't romanticize it. It's very simple. It's doing what you can, when you can, and how you can, and that's it. Because in doing that, you're giving something to somebody, and you're getting outside of yourself to think of other people, and that's what that's really all about. From my
Very good. And so what we're going to do now, if you could just give a round of applause to our panel.